My homily for the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, the 4th of February 2024. Jesus cured many who were suffering from diseases of one kind or another. He also cast out many devils. When God became man and walked amongst us in the person of Jesus, he showed great compassion for the suffering and troubled. He healed many people and restored them to full health. His whole ministry is full of healing miracles. So, those who bring healing to others are following the example of Jesus. They're acting in a Christian way. We think of the medical and caring professions, of course, but it is much greater than that. Whenever we bring healing to a person, whenever we forgive, we are being Christ-like. A question I am often asked is how I square all the suffering in the world with my belief in a loving God. It is a challenging question, one that Job in the Old Testament wrestled with. In our first reading today, Job speaks of drudgery, delusion, grief, restlessness, and loss of hope. Things we probably all experienced at some time or other. But as we see in our gospel and our hospitals and hospices, suffering brings forth much charity and compassion, much care and love. I wonder if there was no suffering in the world, would there be any love? If we were made of stainless steel, nobody could physically hurt us, but nobody could hug us either. If we didn't need anybody else, could we be loved by or love anybody else? Suffering can be hell, but it is a limited hell. What would a world without suffering and so without death be? If this world were without suffering, would God in Jesus have come? Would he have needed to come? Would we know that this world was lacking and incomplete if there was no suffering? Could we look forward in the words of the Creed to the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come if there were no suffering and death? It says in the Gospel that Jesus prayed. It's no wonder that he prayed as he wrestled in his humanity with suffering and death. When we suffer, at least we know that God in Jesus has been there. My God, why have you forsaken me? The excruciating agony of a slow death on the cross. And yet in that, he took our sins away. He saved us.